1995, Denver, Colorado. A judge stares across the courtroom at one of the city's most feared gang leaders and makes a decision no one saw coming. She lets him go. That's right, yeah, she let him go. This is the true story right here that we about to cover of Michael Asberry, aka Cyco Mike. Yeah, if y'all know about that Denver history, y'all already know who he is. Y'all already know what we about to get into. But for the ones that don't know, Michael Asberry, a rolling 30s Crip, got a second chance, not in prison, but in LA. That's right, Los Angeles, California. Was this redemption or was this recklessness? You're watching Views of a Go-Getter, man. Before we get too deep in the video, man, show your boy a little love. Smash that like button, sub up to see what's next up, and let's get to it. He was known by the cops, by the judges, and of course by the streets. And in the streets, he was feared, respected, and of course, dangerous. Denver's law enforcement considered him to be unpredictable. Officer Paul Baka even said, quote, he could flip in a second and kill someone. This wasn't just a street myth. This was a guy whose name came up every time violence popped off in the city. After his 21st arrest, this time for assaulting a police officer. That's right, 21 arrests by this time right here, 21. Asberry was expected to get 6 years in prison. And then no one questioned that. Everybody expected that. That's what they was expecting, that he's gonna get, you know what I mean? He's gonna get that 6 years. But the judge made a move that stunned the entire city of Denver. She suspended the sentence. Instead, she released Cyco Mike to the Mayor I Can program.
Dead homie, let him up and let me out this. Dead homie's about to be a whole lot of problems.
Gang rehabilitation initiative in Los Angeles, California, created by the football legend and activist Jim Brown.
Men are the reason why I'm sitting here today. There is no Ray Lewis without Muhammad Ali or Jim Brown. Period.
The impact that we can have on society is tremendous.
Why? Because she believed Mike had leadership potential, that he was more than a statistic. She said, and this is direct, he has something to offer. The question is, will he choose to offer it? What was the response to this? Rage, of course. Deputy District Attorney Tim Twinning called Mike a chameleon, someone who says the right thing at the right times, but can't leave the life behind. He's indebted to the gang for life. Even the officer Mike assaulted said the ruling was reckless and accused the judge of letting her heart cloud her judgment. And remember, at this time, Los Angeles wasn't exactly calm waters, was it? She was sending a Crip leader straight into South Central, where Crip and blood beasts were erupting almost daily. It wasn't just Denver critics, though, that were upset and mad. No, it was even some in LA who were like, why are you even sending this guy back here? Michael Asberry gave a brief phone interview, and in this phone interview, he was quoted as saying, I'm a changed man. I want to show that through my deeds. I'm not perfect. Ever since I was a juvenile, I've always been going through turmoil. But I'm a man of God now, and I'm trying to make it to paradise. But the police don't want to believe me or hear that.
But if you want to be out of a gang and turn your life around, that's possible.
Because you're telling us right here on this television program here that you have willed yourself out of gang activity.
Yes, sir.
How did you do it? Because I want you to be able to.
And a representative for the American League was quoted also as saying that Michael Asberry, aka Cyco Mike, he's kind of burned out on that gang stuff. He needs to get away from Denver to some place where people aren't after him. Here in California, he'll have supervision and a chance to do something positive. A city official for the city of South Central Los Angeles was quoted as saying, quote, one more gang member in South Central won't make any difference. In Denver, Cyco Mike is a big fish in a small pond. The gang members in South Central are 10 times worse. When he gets to LA, he won't be able to hook up with the Crips to save his soul. But of course, opinions go both ways, don't they? And a deputy probation officer also was quoted as saying this is a ridiculous sentence. When I heard about it, I asked, what? Who did that? I'm not one of those bleeding heart probation officers, Forbes said. I believe when they do the crime, they should do the time. And Paul Baka, who quoted Michael Asberry as being a man that could kill at any second, also agreed that Michael is a chameleon who plays to his audience. This is not a young boy who hadn't had a chance in life. This is a grown man who has done major crimes, said Paul Baka. Paul Baka has had an eye on Michael Asberry since 1984. If prosecutor's case looks ugly, he gets smooth. If the case looks weak, he gets ugly and tries to shift the blame on the cops and prosecutors by saying, quote, "They're out to get me." Paul Baka definitely is not Michael Asberry's biggest fan, and he later on was quoted again saying, "My biggest fear is that a cop in LA will run against him when he's in his Mr. Hyde mode, and he's an aggressive, unpredictable person, and I'm afraid someone is going to get hurt out there." Paul Baka continued to convey his concerns to the judge in a letter of told threats that Asberry has made against him and his family. Going to bat for him, Cyco Mike had Reverend Leon Kelly, who is a longtime anti-gang activist in Denver, as well as a mentor, and he vouched for Cyco Mike, and he said that Mike was intelligent, charismatic, and that he had already started taking younger gang members out and about and walking them away from the life. Reverend Kelly said, quote, "He's got what it takes to lead a movement. If we give up on people like Mike, we're giving up on change itself." To some, Cyco Mike was the problem. To others, he could be the solution. So here's the question that everyone wants to know. Did it work? Well, it's complicated. Mike never returned to the national spotlight, nor did he ever become a public activist. Actually, in 1996, 1 year after being in California, he was arrested by the LAPD for carrying a .380. The .380 got him sent back to Colorado, where he had to kill his sentence. Some say that he stuck to the program for a while, though. Others say he just went quiet and gave up. To his supporters, that silence is a win. To his critics, it's proof that he slipped away from accountability. There's a debate that still matters, though, right? Because Cyco Mike's story still hits a nerve. Because it makes us ask those real questions. Is the justice system about punishment? Or is it about possibility? Can a gang leader change? Or is that risk too big to bet on? Was the judge a visionary? Or was she just reckless? I want y'all to let me know down in the comments below. Michael Asberry, aka Cyco Mike, the founding member of Denver's Rolling 30s Crips, was fatally shot on May 17, 2008 at an apartment complex in North Aurora, Colorado. His death was reportedly the result of a personal dispute over property, rather than gang-related violence. In the immediate aftermath of Asberry's death, tensions escalated in Denver's black communities such as Park Hill and the east side of Denver. On that same night, the Holly Square Shopping Center, a known hangout for Denver Bloods, was set ablaze in what was believed to be a retaliatory act. 9 members of the Rolling 30 Trey Crips were later indicted for arson and other charges related to the incident. Asberry's death marked a significant moment in Denver's gang history, highlighting the challenges of gang intervention and the potential consequences of unresolved personal disputes within these communities. This one just isn't about Mike, though, at all, is it? This one's about all of us, right? Because in every city, right, every hood, there's a Michael Asberry, right? Somebody that's caught in between who they been and who they could be. I know that struggle oh too well myself. But y'all tell me down in the comments below, right? Would y'all have freed Cyco Mike, or would y'all kept him locked up? Y'all let me know down below. Smash that like button, though, if you believe in second chances. And make sure you sub up to see what's next up. More stories, all this still to come. Hit that like button, sub up, comment, and I'm at y'all in the next one.